I saw a story on January 2nd about something that took place in Indiana at a natural history museum. Now, that museum used to be the Center Central Hospital, and that was for people who had brain problems. And from the 1880s to 1994, it was open but then shut down and was changed into a museum. And that museum had a warehouse, and in that warehouse was stored different body parts, like brains and other organs as well. And many of those body parts were from the hospital that used to be there. And the brains belonged to people who had died in that hospital. And scientists, once the person had died, removed the brain from their body and had placed it in jars, along with other body parts too, such as hearts. And so that warehouse had a lot of body parts stored in it. And a man in San Diego, California, was looking on eBay. And as he was doing so, he came across a post advertising brains that were for sale, and they cost $600 each. And so he was reading the description, and he decided to call the museum. And detectives brought him in and discussed with him, trying to figure out where he got the brains from. And he explained that he got it from someone who sold it to him. And it was a man who was 21 years old that had sold him the brains. And so that man broke into the museum again and stole 6 more brains. And so the seller contacted him and asked for police help. So he set up a meeting with the man who was selling him the brains and met with him. And they discussed and agreed on prices. He bought it, and as soon as the exchange was done, the cops came in and arrested the man for selling the brains and for stealing them in the first place. And he was arrested and has a court date set up. And when they did arrest him and search his vehicle, they also saw paraphernalia and other things as well that were illegal. And I'm sure that there will be more charges against him as soon as the investigation is complete. And the brains that were stolen were taken back to the museum. And they contacted the man who had originally bought the brains and asked him why he did. And he responded saying that he just liked to collect odd things, and I understand collecting odd things as a hobby, but brains I'm not too sure about.